I've got a truly intriguing story here. Yesterday, Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito posted an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal rebutting a story that put into question his personal ethics. Now, the weird part of this story is this. He posted the rebuttal, but the story had yet to be published. ProPublica, who did the story, didn't publish it as yet. Fortunately, they did publish it today. And it's an age-old story that Samuel Alito has a BFF who happens to be a billionaire hedge fund guy. And this hedge fund guy wanted to extend some hospitality and took Samuel Alito on a nice little fishing trip to Alaska. Set him up in a $1,000 a day resort. And with the flight up, the flight back, and all the expenses, we're talking $100,000, maybe $200,000. And guess what? Samuel Alito never reported it. Well, why should he report it? Hell, Clarence Thomas has been doing this for decades. He never reported it. Why should the Supreme Court justices have to report these gifts? Well, I don't know. Maybe something like the integrity of the court? But apparently that's not a thing anymore. Integrity doesn't matter. It's grab up all the fucking perks you can get and pass along the favors. You see, this BFF billionaire had a number of cases that came before the Supreme Court and did pretty well. Made some money on the deal. So you can understand why Samuel Alito would be a little concerned about his ethics being questioned. There is no argument for it. He did what he did. There's proof that he did it. And he's just doing what Clarence Thomas does all the fucking time. But here's another part where the ethics becomes an issue. I don't know if it's legal, but it's certainly unethical. So Sam Alito finds out about this story. And the way he found out about it probably is that ProPublica was asking him some questions before they published the piece. So Sam Alito panics. He goes, oh my God, what am I going to do? We got enough problems with ethics in the Supreme Court. What am I going to do? Well, he calls his other billionaire BFF and says, hey man, can you help me out with this? And this billionaire BFF says, sure, I got a publication. Let's get ahead of it and post your rebuttal before it even comes out. Now the question is, why would the Wall Street Journal do that? Well, you know, I know. Who owns the Wall Street Journal? Rupert Murdoch, the right-wing conservative fucking nutcase. The guy that was sued by Dominion to the tune of $1.6 billion for lying about Dominion and lost that case. The very same guy owns the Wall Street Journal. So he decided to give Samuel Alito a solid. Samuel Alito apparently is looking to a lot of billionaire BFFs for help. And all of it is fucking unethical as hell. We've got serious problems in our Supreme Court. It's not just Clarence Thomas. It's Samuel Alito. It's John Roberts. It's Kavanaugh. It's all those motherfuckers. They're all grifting because they have a position of power, which is exactly the contradiction of what we should expect in our Supreme Court, if we hope to have any trust in our Supreme Court. And unfortunately, at this point, we don't.